Zodiac Aerospace is a French aerospace group founded in 1896 that supplies systems and equipment for aircraft. It has around 100 sites across the globe and employs nearly 30,000 people. History: Zodiac Aerospace is a group that is more than 100 years old and that has contributed to the boom in aerospace since the end of the 19th century. Aeronautic foundations. The company was founded in 1896 as Mallet, Ma copyright Landry Aide de Pitre by Maurice Mallet and his associates. In the beginning, the company was involved in the production of the first hot air balloons for sport and tourism. In 1911, the company changed its name to become Zodiac. It then experienced a boom in the construction of airplanes and airships, especially for the copyright Rosstation Maritime and through its participation in the war effort. Until the 1930s, 63 airships would leave Zodiac unregistered trademark S workshops. Marine activities. In 1934, the company created the first prototype inflatable boats, ancestors of the renowned Zodiac, which would contribute to the development of the civil and military inflatable boat industry. The company then benefited from the boom in leisure activities after the Second World War, as well as the French infatuation with recreational boating in the 1960s. Zodiac therefore developed inflatable boats for the civil market and gradually gave up the airship market for the more promising water sports market. Zodiac would nevertheless honor a contract in 1966 with CNES for the production of a meteorological balloon, in the scope of the EOLE project. At the end of the 1960s, the group reorganized and set up its first sales operation for exporting its products overseas more easily. In 1964 it opened its first subsidiary in Spain, Zodiac Aspar Plus or Minus Ola, and then Zodiac North America in 1970. Group internationalization. At the beginning of the 1970s, Zodiac experienced financial difficulties. Spurred on by its new CEO, Jean-Louis Girondeau, and with the support of shareholders and the IDI, the group recovered by 1977. In 1983, Zodiac was the first company to be listed on the A second market unregistered trademark of the Paris Stock Exchange. The firm conducted an international development policy and increases its acquisitions, thereby enabling it to position itself in niche markets on a global scale. In 1978, it acquired copyright Razor Constructions or copyright Ronautiques and thus re-entered the aerospace market. In 1979, it acquired EFA, which led to the creation of the aerospace segment, and continued its development in marine and aerospace with the acquisitions of Bombard La unregistered trademark and Cavigno Re, Civilor in 1981 and Superflexit in 1983, as well as the takeover of Parachutes de France. In 1987, Zodiac acquired Aircruisers, Mitsila, Beacon, and Europool. In 1988, it acquired Pioneer, at the time the second American manufacturer of deceleration and engine braking recovery systems through parachutes. Development of aerospace businesses. In the 1990s, the group continued its acquisitions, strengthening its aerospace business. In 1998, Monogram Systems joined, as did the Intertechnic Group in 1999. The latter acquisition significantly increased the aerospace share in the group unregistered trademark S business and later enabled the creation of the aircraft systems segment, specializing in onboard systems. From 2002 to 2006, Zodiac successively acquired ESCO, ICORE, EVC Systems, C&D Aerospace, Enetcond and SNEC. Split and refocus on aerospace. In September 2007, the Zodiac Group sold its marine business to a holding company, 72% owned by the American group Carlyle with 28% being retained by Zodiac, thus creating Zodiac Marine and Pool. In November 2007, Olivier Zaramati succeeded Jean-Louis Girondeau as Chief Executive Officer. At the beginning of 2008, the group was renamed Zodiac Aerospace and adopted a new logo. At the end of 2008, Zodiac Aerospace strengthened its position in the cabin interiors segment by acquiring the Dutch company Driessen, ADA and TIA. Zodiac Aerospace continued its acquisition strategy in cabin interiors as well as in systems. In 2010, the Canadian company Cantwell Cullen and Company and the German company Sal GmbH joined the group. The year 2010 was marked by a takeover bid for Zodiac Aerospace by the French group Safran. At the beginning of July 2010, Zodiac Aerospace announced that it had been officially approached by Safran and that, having examined Safran unregistered trademark's proposal, its supervisory board had unanimously decided not to pursue it. For several months, Zodiac Aerospace and Safran squared up in the media. In November 2010, the AMF summoned Safran to clarify its position. Its CEO, John Paul Herteman, announced in November 2010 that he had given up his plan to acquire Zodiac Aerospace. Since 2011, Zodiac Aerospace has continued its acquisitions: Heath Techna, Contour Aerospace, IMS, NAT, TRIA Gnosis, PPP, Greenpoint Technologies, Enviro Systems. In September 2012, Zodiac Aerospace put in place an organization comprising 5 segments, complemented by an after-sales service business, Zodiac Aerospace Services. Explosion. On Tuesday, July 14, 2015, an explosion occurred at Zodiac Aerospace as a result of company negligence. In Newport, Washington, United States, 5 individuals were injured as a result of the blast, and people were asked to remain at least 600 meters from the building. Zodiac Aerospace brand. When it was founded in 1896, the company was called Mallet, copyright Landry Aide de Pitre. It changed its name several times during the course of its history. In 1899, it became Ateliers de Constructions or copyright Ronald Maurice Mallet, and 9 years later it became Socia copyright Tar copyright Sectionnaires des Balanced Dirigibles. In 1909, the name Zodiac appeared in the name Socia copyright Tar copyright Sectionnaires de Balanced Dirigibles et d'Aviation Zodiac, followed in 1911 by Socia copyright Tar copyright Zodiac, Anchines per Multiplissements or copyright Ronald Maurice Mallet. In 1965, the company changed its name to Zodiac. The name Zodiac is associated with the inflatable boats that were developed after the Second World War and made famous by the explorations of Commander Cousteau and the experiences of intentional castaway Dr. Bombard. For this reason, when the Zodiac Group sold its marine business in 2007, the Zodiac brand was also sold. In accordance with the agreement signed with the acquiring company, the group took the name of Zodiac Aerospace, which emphasized its refocus on aerospace. This name change was accompanied by modification of the logo, which uses the letter Z, recalling the group's previous logo, together with the Zodiac Aerospace name. Organization: Zodiac Aerospace provides equipment for commercial aircraft, regional aircraft and business aircraft as well as helicopters and spacecraft. The group consists of 5 operational segments, supported by a service activity. Zodiac Aerosafety Zodiac Aerosafety brings together businesses that develop onboard and ground safety systems as well as protection and rescue solutions. This segment comprises 5 divisions, mainly located in Europe and the United States. Zodiac Arresting Systems develops emergency arresting systems including the IMAZ Marks Ascent product, which helps to secure civil airport runways. Zodiac Evacuation Systems offers rescue systems such as inflatable life jackets, evacuation slides and emergency flotation systems for helicopters. Zodiac Interconnect specializes in cable protection and interconnect systems. Zodiac Elastomer designs flexible tanks for aircraft and fuel distribution systems. Zodiac Parachute and Protection offers civil and military parachutes. Zodiac Arresting Systems Zodiac Aircraft Systems The Zodiac Aircraft Systems segment specializes in onboard systems that provide essential in-flight functions. This segment comprises 7 divisions and is mainly located in Europe and in the United States. Zodiac Cabin and Cockpit Systems supplies systems for cockpits, internal and external lighting systems and pilot and passenger oxygen systems. Zodiac Controls develops measurement sensors and system management solutions. Zodiac Electrical Systems specializes in electrical power management systems. Zodiac Entertainment and Seat Technologies comprises two parts. Zodiac In-Flight Innovation develops and sells onboard entertainment systems and connectivity. Zodiac Actuation Systems produces electric actuators for aircraft seats. Zodiac Fluid Management offers solutions for managing fluid circulation. Zodiac Water and Waste supplies onboard systems for treating wastewater and garbage. Zodiac Data Systems designs telemetry applications and onboard systems for data acquisition and recording. Its products are known under the following brand names: INSNEC, ENETC and HEIM. Zodiac Galleys and Equipment The Zodiac Galleys and Equipment segment comprises three divisions, located in Europe, the United States and Thailand. Zodiac Galleys fits out single-aisle and twin-aisle kitchen areas of aircraft and rest areas for flight crew. Zodiac Galley Insert supplies kitchen equipment. Zodiac Rotable Equipment supplies trolleys and containers for loading baggage and goods into aircraft holds. Zodiac Cabin and Structures The Zodiac Cabin and Structures segment designs and manufactures cabin interiors for fitting out new aircraft and refitting old aircraft. It is mainly located in the United States. Zodiac OEM Cabin Interiors designs, develops and certifies the cabin interiors of commercial and regional aircraft. Zodiac Airline Cabin Interiors offers airlines a service for refitting cabin interiors. Zodiac Northwest Aerospace Technologies is an engineering company specializing in cabin refit programs and their certification. Zodiac Advanced Composites and Engineered Materials supplies composite materials for fitting out cabin interiors. Zodiac Business Aircraft Cabin Interiors designs and manufactures cabin interiors for business aircraft. Zodiac Seats Zodiac Seats designs, manufactures and sells passenger seats for commercial and regional aircraft as well as technical seats. This segment comprises four main divisions. Zodiac Seats France is based in Issoudun, France and specializes in business class and economy class seats. Zodiac Seats US is located in Gainesville, Texas and specializes mainly in economy class seats. Its subsidiary, Zodiac Seats California, specializes in seats for regional aircraft. Zodiac Seats UK is based in Cambridge and Camberley. It specializes in first class and business class seats. Zodiac Seats Shells, based in Santa Maria, California, manufactures seat shells and composite materials for business class seats. Zodiac Aerospace Services Zodiac Aerospace Services is the after-sales service activity of Zodiac Aerospace Group. It has locations in Europe, the United States, the Middle East and Asia. Governance and Management Zodiac Aerospace Group is a limited company with an executive board and a supervisory board. It is managed by the executive board, chaired by Olivier Zaramati, and by the executive committee. The supervisory board is chaired by Didier Demonge. Markets and strategy The products and systems developed by Zodiac Aerospace mainly address the civil aerospace market. They break down into two categories: SFE products, equipment supplied by the aircraft manufacturer, which is selected by aircraft manufacturers at the beginning of a program and is then fitted into all aircraft produced. BFE products, equipment supplied by the aircraft buyer, which is selected by airlines to fit out their new aircraft or as a replacement for equipment on older aircraft. For commercial aircraft, seats are a BFE product of the highest quality, especially for enabling airlines to differentiate themselves from their competitors. Zodiac Aerospace Group's strategy consists in building or strengthening positions of global leadership in niche aerospace markets, presenting high barriers to entry, and significant after-sales content. This development is based both on organic growth as well as growth by acquisition. Innovation Zodiac Aerospace takes part in research and innovation programs that bring together various industry players. CORAC Copyright Gnome, Hycarus, Fuel Cells, Airbus, EFAN Project. Zodiac Aerospace also supports innovation through the Jean-Louis Girondeau Award. created 4 years ago to reward undergraduates or PhD students of the École Polytechnique, championing a business creation project and encouraging entrepreneurial spirit and innovation. Key figures: Zodiac Aerospace Euro unregistered trademark S fiscal year starts on September 1 and ends on August 31. Share ownership and stock market information Zodiac Aerospace Euro unregistered trademark S shares are listed on the Euronext Paris market. As at August 31, 2014, Zodiac Aerospace's share capital stood at 11,537,373, made up of 288,434,325 shares. Fiscal year 2013/2014 revenue, a 4.175 m, current operating income, a 549.9 m, net income, a 354.4 m, dividend, 0.32, net debt equity ratio 0.43. Corporate social responsibility: during fiscal year 2013/2014, Zodiac Aerospace adhered to the United Nations Global Compact. This pact aims to bring the group's operations into line with the 10 universally accepted principles with regard to human rights, labor, environment and anti-corruption. Philanthropy: for many years, Zodiac Aerospace has been supporting the Petty Princes Association at group level. The group also provides support for projects that encourage scientific research, as with Wings for Science in 2012 for example. Subsidiaries also support local initiatives, mainly in the fields of health and education. Petty Princes since 2003, Zodiac Aerospace has been providing financial and material support for the Petty Princes Association to help make the dreams of seriously ill children come true. The group also lets the association take advantage of its global network. Wings for Science since 2012, the group has been supporting the ORA Association through the supply of equipment. The objective of this problem is to make a light aircraft available to research laboratories to support scientific work and to inspire young people. In June 2013, the aircraft was displayed at Le Bourget during the Paris Air Show. Local initiatives around the world, Zodiac Aerospace Euro unregistered trademark S subsidiaries support local initiatives on education and health. For example, 2 group entities gifted equipment to the ORBIS Association in 2013. This was used to equip a hospital in an aircraft traveling in troubled countries to care for people with eye problems and to take the latest medical innovations to local doctors. References. External links: zodiacaerospace.com, Wings for Science, Petty Princes, or bees.org.